college shoremen at 4-1 overall. Our game today is being streamed on Kova Sports TV. At this time, we ask that you please all rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. So you think for starters, just mention number and name, and think position, or what do you think? I can get the position there too. Grade 6'2" junior Connor Updegraff.
I would just go number, name, yeah, unless you really want to dive on your weeds.
Yeah, how about Tom has one up here? Starters? Let's introduce you to our starting lineups for both teams, beginning with the visitors for our contest, the Washington College Shoremen. In numerical order, number 2, Connor Updegraff.
Number 3, Nate Winters. Number 6, Patrick Rogers. Number 8, Brian Blanche. Number 17, Aiden Ventura. Number 19, Paxton Warnock. Number 20, Ronan Miller. Number 23, Ben Hazelhurst. Number 30, Tellen Baller. And number 52, Inkeep Skeet Hine. The Shoremen are coached by Josh Nostrand, assisted by Bryce Guilford, Grant Matthews, and Colin Kirby. And now for the host Vikings of Berry College. In numerical order, our starters. Number 1, Caleb Johnston. Number 7, Sean Johnson. Number 11, Christian Vout. Number 12, Michael Byrne. Number 15, Jacob Briggs. Number 20, Wesley Wilbur. Number 22, Owen Marini. Number 25, Clayton Carroll. Number 32, Griffin Smiles. And number 44, Andrew Duffy. The Vikings are coached by Curtis Gilbert. He is assisted by Kobe McMahon, Ken Byers, and Mike Voso. Got that little time to spare, didn't I?
We're up here up to the break. I just turned it down now. So
Yeah, you keep doing your thing with this, and then with this. Yeah.
I'm not three.
So that's this. That's the right. 4, I believe, is the field mic, and then
Wait, this picks me. Wait, this is. I turn it off.
right. That will pick you up from the field mic audio for the stream. When you start doing your announcing during the game and all that, I'll turn you both up, and then it'll pick you up, obviously, from your with your headsets on. So if you want to keep doing your thing,
Ready? And we welcome you on this Tuesday afternoon in the month of March to our presentation of Division III College Lacrosse. Our matchup today from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex on this sunny, warm day in the month of March. It's the Berry College Vikings with a record of 3-2 overall, taking on the Washington College Shoremen, who come in at 4-1 overall. We're glad you're with us here watching on Cova Sports TV. Matthew Hatfield, pleased to be joined by JP Stewart here on our broadcast. JP, thank you for stopping by. Great to be calling this game with you today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. I'm looking forward to watching a great lacrosse game.
And our game is brought to you today by Cashbox Coaching. Check it out online at cashboxcoaching.com/JP. And JP, we have two very high-quality teams matching up today. Washington College 4-1 overall. They're 3-0 all-time in this series against Berry College. And ironically enough, the head coach for Berry College played on the '98 title team, Curtis Gilbert, for Washington College. So there's some familiarity, to say the least.
Yeah, it's awesome to see these guys battle each other in a non-conference. And like you mentioned, Curtis was on that '98 national championship team, coached by John Hawes up at Washington College. And John Nodi on the other sideline leading the Shoremen is also a Washington College alum. Played in 3 national championship games back in the mid-'80s when he was a player up in Chestertown.
And we want to tell you about our officials for today's game: the head referee, Tom Bell, the umpire, Jesse Springer, and the field judge, Sam Walker. And we want to thank Rachel Faison on camera today operating, as well as Garrett Jackson and Colton Fitch for their hard work and efforts behind the scenes with our stream, bringing you the action live today on Cova Sports TV, which you can find on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button, the share button, and most importantly, the subscribe button. So we have the action getting ready to start here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, as it'll be a heck of a matchup today. What are you looking for in this matchup, JP?
Well, both teams start conference play on the 21st. So what is that, 11 days from now, Matt?
Yeah.
And they're both on their spring breaks right now. Pivotal time of season for these Division III lacrosse teams. Great non-conference matchup, particularly for Berry College, in my opinion. You know, they're the Southern Athletic Association, and stepping out of league and playing a team the caliber of the Shoremen is going to be a great test for them. From the Shoremen, you know, since Nodi's come back 5 years ago, he's got this thing rolling in the right direction, and that's not anyone's surprise. He's an incredibly good coach, and sounds like both coaches really like their teams. So I'm just looking forward to seeing two groups play hard today.
Should be a fun matchup today, and if you're just tuning in the gray uniforms are the Vikings of Berry College, and the red, the Shoremen of Washington College. And we are underway here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as we see on the move to get things started off. And the first goal is scored, as that is going to be in courtesy of number 3 there, I believe, right? Nate Winters for Washington College.
Yep, that's number 3, Nate Winters, down on attack, scoring the first goal, and the assist there goes to, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but Talon Baylor. A sophomore out of Pasadena, Maryland. Great start there. The face-off guy for Washington College got that ball out forward, controlled it, fast break. That's the way the game's supposed to be played right there, Matt. Get the ball up, get it fast, and get it to the net.
First goal scored by Nate Winters for Washington College. So not even a full 25 seconds going by here, JP, and great start for Washington College, which has scored in its games to begin things here. 8 against Elizabethtown, 17 against Widener, as well as the 15 and a loss to Randolph-Macon, 17 versus Susquehanna, and 11 against Catholic. So they have been terrific here in the early going of this season.
Yeah, no, those, Matt, are good teams that they're playing. Washington has done a good job with their non-conference schedule. It's going to continue to be challenging in the next 2 games. St. John Fisher over the weekend, a great program run by Dave Dobbins up in New York, and then Stockton before they jump into Centennial Conference play on the 21st.
Well, like Barry was on the move for a brief moment, and another goal is scored.
19.
Like that number 19, in fact, for Washington College. That is Paxton Warnock, as he got that one, as they like to say, downhill right there to the net there on the move.
Yeah, great D-script, Matt. Yeah, Paxton is a shorty for the Shoremen, a short stick for Washington College. I know Nodi likes to get those guys out and running, and you've seen it already here. We're less than a minute in. 2 transition goals for Washington College. That's my style of lacrosse, and great job by the Shoremen. Barry had a great opportunity there, though, also in transition. They just didn't can it.
That goal scored by Paxton Warnock for Washington College.
Another good face-off win there for Barry. That's 2 out of 3 for Barry at the face-off dot. You guys out there watching that are lacrosse fans, parents, families, recruits, et cetera, you know how important that battle at the dot's going to be today.
And right now, the 2-0 lead early on here for Washington College. Less than 2.5 minutes gone by as we see resetting play on the move now. As you see there for Barry that was number 9, J.P. William Lee.
Yeah, you just saw the substitution pattern there, Matt. You know, and you'll see that traditionally throughout the game. Barry right now at the offensive zone, they'll try to get their better offensive midfielders on. Washington College will try to match that, try to get their better defensive midfielders on, and then it'll be a little bit of a back and forth in that sub game.
A couple of different subs have come in here trying to get an opportunity, and we got solid goalkeepers for both teams in this matchup, JP, and certainly even the ones that aren't starting this game have some potential. I know you were speaking earlier with the coaching staffs. They're high about the future for these programs and building, and so far here we've seen the 2 quick goals from Washington College, and the momentum as Barry's trying to cut this in half. We see on the move Tad Zappa. But a good double team applied, and that one getting away from the net. So early on here, Barry trying to get back in this thing. Washington College has had a couple of runouts in transition and have taken advantage in our first period.
Yeah, and I think Barry missed the cage on that last one, but Skeet Hine to me, 52, the right-handed goalie for Washington College. He's a boys Latin kid up in Baltimore. You know, again, lacrosse fans, you guys are well familiar with that name. But it looked like Skeet got a piece of that secondary shot from Barry to maybe get his first save of the game.
See on the move now. Comes Barry yet again. Now Washington College regains it back. Got it behind Lucas Signorella. Here he is moving into enemy territory. Makes a nifty pass. That one is hauled in.
Yep, and so now, Matt, keep an eye on this. You'll see the Washington guys get their offensive crew on, and the Barry guys will try to match that with their defensive guys.
Talon Ballard, who had that earlier assist, JP, that you referenced to start things off to Nate Winters, got a good feed moments ago. And we'll see the Shoremen looking to get another attempt on goal. That one stymied, but here comes Barry back on the run as they've got it with Mitch Batchoing, the senior from Duluth, Georgia. Now up ahead.
Yeah, and a good play there by the Barry crew, getting the ball down the side, getting into their attack.
Michael Breen lost it for a brief moment. Washington College regains it, though, with Brian Blanche, the junior out of Huntington Valley.
Yeah, and I think Blanche and his crew down on D-Mat, we should keep an eye on those guys today. I know Nody really likes those guys. He really, really speaks highly of his D. And as you look at these guys, I mean, this is Division III lacrosse, and we're talking about number 6, Pat Rogers, at 5'11", 200. We're talking about Blanche, number 8, at 6'5", 210.
He's well built.
Yeah, there's some big dudes down there. I'd probably go the other way if I was walking down the hallway.
Not a bad idea. In fact, we watched Winters get his 11th goal of the season earlier, and in the case of Paxton Warnock, it was his first goal of the campaign. Just trying to get a shot from behind the cage, moving into the offensive zone here on the attack yet again. Good feed. Back come the Shoremen with Tuck Levanis. Levanis trying to figure out what to do with it. That one goes away from the cage and sailing out play as we're just over 10 minutes to go in our opening frame.
Got 15 on the shot clock. Shots that do not hit the cage or saved by the goalie or the post do not reset the shot clock. And Barry with a good run out on that play. That kind of looked to me like Washington was dipping their toe in the water there a little bit offensively, trying to feel out this Barry group. I think that was a good defensive possession for Barry. Maybe they're going to catch their breath here a little bit and calm down. Barry on the clear now.
Absolutely, JP. I believe one of the key defensemen on that was Wesley Wilbur, the senior out of Wake Forest, North Carolina for Barry.
And a failed clear there by Barry. That's going to hurt. They just got a good defensive stop, and here comes Whack in transition. Great look. Yeah.
Knock over, and it's going to be scored. Count that for Aiden Ventura as he puts it on the board to make it 3-0.
And that was your boy at the short stick defensive spot there, number 19, Warnock with the assist again. And running the middle of the field there, he looks great. That's a great one more. That failed clear. Matt, keep an eye on failed clears today. When the team has possession, is working to clear the ball, and they fail on the attempt, it's almost inevitable that secondary opportunity for the offensive team is going to come back to haunt you, and it proved true there with Washington College scoring to make it 3-0.
9:44 to go in the opening frame. It's 3-0. We'll take a quick timeout, too. You're watching Division III college action from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex on Cova Sports TV. Washington College out to the early lead. Now this from those that help make it possible. Stay tuned. Big thanks to Chicho's Pizza, one of our many supporters of our matchup today, as well as, of course, we talked about it earlier here on our broadcast, the Division III college matchup with Washington College on top of Berry by a count of 3-0. Our game brought to you by Cashbox Coaching. Give them a call at 757-575-9640, and also find them on the web at cashboxcoaching.com/JP. JP Stewart joining me, Matt Hatfield, on the call of this one. As early on, we've watched JP Washington College get what they want in terms of shots on goal, some quality possessions. Aiden Ventura with the goal the last trip. Paxton Warnock's got a goal and an assist, and Nate Winters got things started off less than a minute in here against the Berry team.
Yeah, I love the way Washington started the game. Talking with Nody a little bit and just catching up on his team and his group. He really wants to get them out and get them running. And quite honestly, I think it's the best way to play the game. Not a big deal for Berry. 3-0, still 10 minutes almost to play in the first quarter. Just a deep breath or two, make a couple plays, and they'll fight their way right back into it. And
10 different guys for the Shoremen in the burgundy uniforms. 10 different players with multiple assists this season. They've certainly been unselfish and gotten their teammates involved as we watch Caleb Johnston try to get the attack started here for Berry, one of the midfielders, a senior out of Denver, North Carolina.
Yeah, another really good face-off win for Berry, but then look at that takeaway there by the Washington College defender. That's 23, Ben Hazelhurst.
Wow.
And coming back to the size and length of these guys, Matt, 6'3", 210 on Ben Hazelhurst. Takeaway leads to a quick Washington College goal.
That one happened so fast. Apologies. I think that was Connor Updegraff in the play with that, along with Aiden Ventura.
I'm going to apologize to Matt. Rookie color commentary here. I'm looking at my roster to see who Hazelhurst is, the kid 23 that takes the ball away. I missed the goal.
But that was Updegraff and Ventura, but 4-0 now in favor of Washington College here with 9:22 to go. So they have been fast and furious here in our opening quarter. As we watch the face-off again, the battle involving Johnston for Berry College. But there's on the move. Another good job as they get it over this Washington College to Updegraff, who's been active in this first part of the game here, JP.
Yeah, that's a good win there for Washington College, and then a quick turnover. So here comes Berry running out in transition. Looks like they want to pull that out there, but yeah, the Updegraff kid, number 2, the Roper / long stick midi here for Washington College. Looks like he's got a nice little handle on that wing, 6'2", 180. So again, another long, lengthy defender here for Nody and the Shoremen. Berry College has reset their offense, and they'll probably try to get their legs here a little bit and just kind of get into the flow of the game, I would guess here, Matt.
As we see on the move now, Berry with Finn McClendon.
Great take there by number 14 for Berry. Unfortunately, he draws iron on the shot. That's still a shot. That should be Washington College ball. Great hustle by number 17 on Washington College. That's Aiden Ventura. Great anticipation and a great effort play by the Washington College attack line.
And I'm glad you brought up his name, Aiden Ventura, because thanks to technology on our Cova Sports TV YouTube channel, you can go back and rewatch the play, which I just did, and it was Ventura scoring it from Updegraff on that last one. So we can give him credit on that goal, just to confirm it as I went back on the rewind button to see it. 4-0 in favor of Washington College. The group from Maryland out to a fast start as we watch here on the move here. Lucas Signorella.
Wow.
Another one of the subs, and Washington College has just been on point here early on, JP. We see Signorella and, of course, Nate Winters teaming up, and 5-0 in their favor.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a settled offensive play, and their first settled offensive goal. The first 4 came out of transition. And as soon as Washington College got a little bit of a step there on the dodge and the throwback, they were able to get hands free and get a shot. And I think it's really important for Barry right now to bear down, dig in a little bit, take a deep breath, guys. You got plenty of time here to start playing your game and get yourself back in. That's their 4th face-off win now for Barry.
Yes, it is.
The violation on number 20 for Washington College means that he will not be able to take the next face-off. So Ronan Miller will have to sit out the next face-off off that violation. It's a good sign for Barry, though. They're winning face-offs. They're up, if I have it correct, 4-2 now at the face-off dot. That'll give them some possessions.
Well, it's something they can build on here. Even though they're trailing in this game, I think there's some confidence that they are getting the face-offs to get some chances. It's just a matter of can they capitalize on them, right?
Correct, Matt. That's a great point.
So here we are with Barry on the move. We saw Zappa get rid of it at the 40. Give it back to Zappa on the feed from Tyler Gabriels. Behind the cage, trying to twist through Owen Marini.
Great offense by Barry. I'd love to see him stick that shot.
And that shot attempted by William Lee, the 5'11 junior from Milton, Georgia.
Yeah, real good offense there, though. Simple. They got the ball through the backside. They got the ball to the weak side, and they get their hands free. It's a simple game here. And Barry just did a real nice job there creating a little bit of offense. They just got to hit a shot.
So they knock it away from that was rather
That's number 6.
yeah. So that would be rather Patrick Rogers
Yes, sir.
making that play. Up ahead, they feed it to Brian Blanche, who is one of those imposing players standing out here on the run. Another goal is scored. This one is courtesy of Tuck Levanis. Tuck
And that's
Levanis.
Another example of how valuable the clear is, Matt. The Washington College guys, great takeaway there from number 6, Patrick Rogers, the close defenseman for Washington College. That led to a clear attempt. Great clear through Brian Blanche, number 8, the long stick, or not long stick, excuse me, the close defender. And then that led to a little bit of transition. I think Barry's got to start reading the tea leaves. They've got to look here, see Washington College wants to run. They've got to start getting in the paint and taking away some of this transition.
Athletics Washington College goal courtesy of Tuck Levanis.
So 6-0 is our count in favor of Washington College, as they have had ample opportunities and made the most of them. Substitution for Barry is taking a seat for them is going to be Joey Schenkel for a moment.
Another face-off win for the Vikings, and more pressure by the Washington College defense. Man, this defense is as advertised. They're stepping out. They're putting on some pressure. Here they come in transition.
Smothering
This is going to be
Updegraff.
fun to watch if they push this one.
Updegraff initiated that. And now with this 6-0 lead, here comes Washington College on the run.
Yeah, Matt, the shoremen here are getting up and down the field. They're getting some transition, but right now they're even beating Barry out of the box on the substitutions. They had numbers there.
Just
out of
a
the
step
substitution
quicker,
game, and they thought better of it, chose not to push it. Maybe they want to run a little bit, they're settled.
Little fake maneuver from Aiden Ventura, who's already been involved with the scoring, but this time Barry's able to get that stop. They badly needed one here. Now can they strike on the other end as they try to get it down the field? Here they come with number 6, that's Corey Blunt, freshman for them out of Savannah, Georgia. 5'8" midi. But back comes Washington College. We see the pass from Winters. Gets it over to Dupuis. Washington.
And so statistically there, Matt, that'll count as a successful clear for Barry.
Okay.
But as soon as they cleared the ball, meaning they had possession offensively through the midline, they turned it over immediately. That's just as bad, sometimes even worse than a failed clear. And you saw Washington College got a little bit of a chance out of it, and now they have the ball in the settled 6-on-6.
Tuck Levanis has got it. They had that one goal in the settled sequence. The other 5 have been pretty much in transitions. We see Dupuis takes a slip but stays with it, and then Barry College trying to urge on their teammates there. And they get possession back.
Yep, that's a great takeaway there for Barry. They needed that, and the previous possession defensively for Barry, Jacob Briggs, the starter in the goal for them, sophomore, Tampa, Florida, Lando Lakes. That was a big save for him. That was a big save for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jacob get going now and maybe start to string together a couple more saves.
33 saves on the year coming in for Briggs. The other goalie, Thomas Burgee, 14 in the 3 previous games that he has played. But so far, it's a 6-0 lead for Washington College in this opening period. Washington College gets it right back with Ben Hazelhurst, the 6'3" senior defender. We've touched on him a couple of times so far. in this
Yeah.
matchup.
Matt, I really am impressed these first 11 minutes with this Washington College defense. Nody, talking to him yesterday, told me he felt like this is the strength of his team, was his defenders, and I can see it right away.
Yeah, they've just totally bottled up. There's our goal score. This one courtesy of Carson Crawford, the 5'10", 165-pound junior from Centerville, Maryland, and that makes it in favor of Washington College 7-0.
Yeah, and it's all stemming from defensive turnovers, loose balls. Washington College is putting a lot of pressure on these Barry guys. The Barry guys maybe aren't reacting great right now. If I'm Coach Gilbert, I'm maybe trying to spread my guys out a little bit, maybe try to use a little bit more space. Looks like these Washington guys want to chase them. Well, try to use a little bit more space if you're the Barry College Vikings. Another good face-off win here for Barry.
This ladies' goal courtesy of Carson Crawford for Washington College.
Couple of substitutions, JP, as we watch for Barry go out. Mikey Statham, the freshman from Woodstock, Georgia. But early on here, Washington College, it's been all in their favor here. Barry's had a couple of chances after winning the faceoffs. Now they've got possession back.
And they've got numbers here off the substitution. Great cover up there by the Schwarman. Washington College did a really, really good job there, Matt, of limiting that 6-on-5.
Peter Balthazar had a chance there, JP, but again, Washington College's defense, it's so much about recovery and rotating over, isn't it?
Yeah, they did a really good job recovering there. And they're just putting a lot of man pressure onto the Barry Vikings.
Vikings trying to get another chance here as they've got it with Finn McClendon.
And a great double team. Barry escapes it, though.
Oh, nice haul in there by Michael Byrne. Gets it back over to the aforementioned Balthazar. Balthazar gets rid of it. Bit of a slip, but getting back up is Paxton Warnock. And again, Washington College with the answers. They have the solutions every time Barry's knocking on the door.
Yeah, good save there for 52, Skeet Hine. He made it look easy, but that's not an easy save. That was a 12, 13-yard shot from the middle of the field. He went down, suffocated the ball. Real good stop for him. Good successful clear for Washington. Here they come in their substitution patterns. They got numbers, and they got free hands.
College. There's a great look. It just goes whizzing by the net there, Lucas Signorella. And you mentioned earlier Skeet Hine. He was named the CC Defensive Player of the Week, the Centennial Conference Defensive Player of the Week in men's lacrosse for March 2nd through the 8th. It's the first time he's earned the conference's weekly award, a save percentage of 750 and 84.44 of action and a pair of wins for the Shoremen last week, stopping 18 of 24 shots on goal, and a bright future for the youngster, the sophomore netminder, turning away a career-best 13 shots.
Yeah, statistically, those numbers are fantastic, Matt. If you're saving the ball at that percentage, you're giving your team a heck of an opportunity to win. And quite honestly, you're probably going to win if your goalie plays like that.
First Shoreman to win Defensive Player of the Week since Gabe Velasquez of 2024 back in March 28th of 2023. I say 2024 gratis, of course, but here it is, the Shoreman trying to get
Great
it
skip
up
pass.
again. Yeah, Signorello found him on a dime. Jake Laubach picking it up and pinpoint passes.
Yeah, that was a pretty look, and Washington had a good shot at the goal and just didn't connect it.
We talked about it a little earlier. They got a tough matchup on deck here, JP, with St. John Fisher coming up on Saturday, but they are rounding into form here at the right time here as the season's starting to hit that point where you're getting closer to midseason and you want to find your stride, your identity. It looks like their defense really fueling a lot of what they do offensively.
Yeah, I think that's key right now, Matt. The defense for sure is fueling the offense, and yeah, we can dig into that a little bit deeper after this possession. But yeah, that's kind of the intent here of what Washington wants to do. They want to get themselves playing to their best as they get to March 21, and they open up their conference schedule with Dickinson College. Dickinson's the national runner-up from last year, and a hell of a program up there with Dave Webster in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's a great save. That's a great save and a great outlet. Let's see if Barry could get running here.
That save, setting him up here with Briggs and Keep.
They still have numbers if they could connect, but a great effort by Barry, a great effort. I'll tell you, that was a heck of a save and a heck of an outlet ball there by number 15, Jacob Briggs. Jacob, great job. Great job there off the loose ball by Barry. And here comes Washington. They're going to chase you.
Yeah,
they're probably going to swing at you, boys, so you might want to spread out.
One of their best transition opportunities they've had here in this opening frame.
I'll tell you what, Barry just had more numbers there, Matt, and Washington covered that up again. They are playing really hard. They've got some good speed. They've got some good length.
Andrew Duffy was one that had a
chance there for Barry, but they stay after it here. You see the reversal with Tad Zappa. Zappa gets rid of it behind net.
Great little show there by Washington College. Caleb Johnson didn't fully commit to the slide support, but he showed it. And the Barry guys kind of felt like support was coming, so they pulled out of that offensive opportunity.
Andrew Ingram got it over to Boston Julio. 12 seconds.
Here goes Washington and run.
On the
8
run.
seconds on the clock. They're going to have time here.
Carson Crawford faked it, then he got rid of it. And now there's another goal scored as it's going to be a connection with the likes of Talon Ballard finding Nate Winters for the goal.
Yeah, almost a carbon copy of goal number 1. So they started the quarter off a face-off fast break, which led to a true traditional 4v3 fast break, and had Baylor feed Winters for goal number 1. In that situation, loose ball at the defensive zone. Washington comes up with the loosie. They get out in transition. They run the traditional 4v3 break again, and you get Winters and Baylor combining for the 8th goal of the quarter.
So 8-0 as we reach the end of the first frame in this matchup at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Nate Winters and Talon Ballard connecting like they did to start things off less than a minute in to our matchup. We'll step aside with a quick break. We've got more coming your way here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex in this Division III college lacrosse matchup. Glad you're tuned in with us on Cova Sports TV. Back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Life moves fast, but when that Freddy's hits, you can't help but slow down. Freddy's, this is the good stuff.
With 4 Hampton Roads area locations, Freddy's is just a short trip away.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
It's 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the one and only Coach Ed Young. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Cova Sports TV. From high school football and basketball to the NFL, MLB, college sports, and the NBA, if it's making headlines, they are breaking it down. Bold takes, big-time guests, and a few laughs, especially at the expense of that basketball coach, Ed Young. Catch it on Cox TV and YourView, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube at Cova Sports TV.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Thanks to the great folks at CHKD Children's Hospital, the King's Daughters. You can find out more at chkd.org. Also, our presenting sponsor today, Cashbox Coaching. Give them a call at 757-575-9640, and also find them on the web at Cashbox Coaching. That's KASHBOX Coaching.com. Matt Hatfield here with you alongside J.P. Stewart as we watch the face-off to begin the second quarter. An 8-0 lead for Washington College against Barry in this Division III college lacrosse matchup where, J.P., we've seen Nate Winters, we've seen Paxton Warnock, Talon Ballard, Carson Crawford, so many different contributors for Barry in this matchup, for Washington College against Barry in this matchup. And Barry, some are saying, oh, they're struggling right now, but a lot of it's just been the execution of Washington College at both ends.
Yes, you're right there, and it's really not that big of a difference right now, although the scoreboard does say 8-0. And on that note, Coach Gilbert, Curtis Gilbert, the head man for the Vikings, has made a switch in the goal. He's going with number 30, Thomas Berge now, junior, 6'1", 180 from Wilmington, North Carolina. Really good little lacrosse area down there. Near Wrightsville Beach.
Watch the crossover move there for Washington College with Peyton Elder. Trying to curl through. You see the good find from Aiden Ventura. And then on the money again, Washington College making it happen. You see the high fives as that one was Chris Capozali, Chris Capozali making it happen for Washington College, the freshman from Ridley Park, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, great little lacrosse area there too. And quite honestly, on that one, Matt, I think the Vikings created the offense for the Shoremen. No need to really go and create offense for them there. But by showing that double team so early, the Shoremen were able to kind of play tic-tac-toe, a couple quick passes, and they were able to get free hands and convert and tight.
Made it look very easy as we watch another face-off.
So you see another violation there by the Washington College face-off guy, number 20. And you'll see the two Fogos get off the field here for Barry and for Washington College. Substitute the appropriate offensive and defensive guys on. But anyone out there that's watching that's not familiar with that face-off rule, the official will give both players a down call. That means both players have to go down to the dot. A set call, meaning they have to get into their positions and be firm, be still at that point, and then the whistle. If there's a violation, and in that case the Washington College player went a little early, possession automatically goes to the other team, in this case Barry, and then that face-off player who violated has to sit out the next face-off. So we won't see number 20 again on the next face-off for Washington College.
And that is, of course, for Washington College, number 20 is none other than Ronan Miller Jr. How often, as we watch another chance get stymied there for Barry, that transition from the high school ranks to the college ranks, do we see some of those violations? Do you see it more frequently for those newcomers to the, I guess, moving up a level?
Yeah. To me, you know, Matt, the kids that are playing high school lacrosse and that come up and play the NCAA level lacrosse, the biggest thing is the speed of the game and the adjustment to the speed of the game. And that could be true for a face-off guy, goalie, a defender, a midfielder, doesn't matter. Another great goal there by Washington College. They're really starting to get rolling here.
Just having their way at this point, as it has been total domination in this first half for them.
Yeah, that one started again. I hate to beat a dead horse here, but defensively, number 52 in this case for Washington College, goaltender Skeet Hine makes a good save. He makes a good outlet to his shorties running out. They get out in transition. You get out in transition, you get a lot of green grass in front of you, you're going to create offensive chances, and that's exactly what the Shoremen are doing.
I believe that was Jake DePuis with that goal, by the way, for Washington College. And as I bring that up, it's going to be one for Barry on the board as they're able to strike.
Yeah, that was a funny one, and that's one Washington would like to get back, but that's the game of lacrosse. Funny bounces happen. The Barry kid threw the ball to the inside. It was kind of a deflect and kind of goes in. You know, nobody's fault on that play, just kind of the way the ball bounces in our game sometimes.
So we'll see if they credit that goal, JP, I think, as I'm watching the replay to see if that is going to be number 12, I believe, for Barry, Michael Byrne. So
good to see Barry jump on the board, though, and get their first goal here in Virginia Beach today.
So we'll call those Jake DePuis and Michael Byrne.
Yep, and we'll have a foul.
There's the flag that's been thrown, yes.
And why they stopped the play there, I do not know. That should have been a play on. The officials need to learn there to sit on that whistle for a second and let the ball play out. In my opinion, anyway, that should have been a play on for Washington College. But Washington College will be on the power play here. They'll have a 30-second advantage here off the push from behind.
So after that latest penalty, we see Washington College get it started with Reeve Hargrave over to Tuck Levanis.
Trying to run a little seal play for a righty shooter here. Good adjust there by the Barry Vikings.
Hargrave gets rid of it. On the move now, Jake LeBach.
Yep, and they're into their secondary look here on the +1 action here, Matt. A little bit of a fumble, but a good Rico, good recovery there for the Shoremen.
Nice delivery there from Talon Beller, who's got a couple of assists. Oh, good find there.
Yeah.
And they able to nudge it through as it's an assist from Jake LeBach over to Talon Baylor. Jake LeBach with the assist and Talon Baylor with the goal. So we'll announce that. Assist by Jake LeBach and goal by Talon Baylor. Increases the Washington College lead.
And so early on in that +1 in that man-up play, Matt, the Shoremen went for a little bit of a seal action for a right-handed shooter. It wasn't there. Their secondary look was the 3-3 action, and simple but effective. The 3-3 skip pass for a goal.
11-1.
Barry in transition.
Oh, and there's a goal that's scored by Caleb Johnston.
It's a great transition goal. Face-off win, gets it out forward, wins the ground ball, and it's exactly what Berry College needed to answer the Washington College +1.
Johnston with the goal for Berry College.
It is a very warm day here, JP, but the wind's starting to pick up here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as well, which we won't complain about because when that sun's beating down at you, it can be and even mighty toasty for these competitors out here on the field at the Plex.
So I talked to Coach Nostrand and Coach Gilbert before the game.
Sure.
And, former colleagues of mine, former competitors, known both of them for quite some time. Well, Coach Nostrand, anyone that knows him from his days at the Haverford School or even from his days back as a player at Washington College and his high school days up in Syracuse, New York. I don't know if I've ever seen him not wearing Timberland boots on the sideline. And he's not wearing his Timberlands today. He's got the shorts going. He's got the
good idea.
Yeah, he's got the workout shoes on, and Nody was loving the 80-degree Virginia Beach weather here.
Johnston with his 4th goal of the season there for Berry College, which trails at 11-2. But Washington College, they have been really on point in this matchup. It's on the move.
Good short stick defense here by the Berry Vikings. That's number 6 for them. Corey Blount. I'm sorry, Corey Blunt. I probably just mispronounced that, Corey. My apologies. But that's really good little short stick defense that he just played there.
And we saw a moment ago Keen McGrath, JP, one of the 2 Virginia Beach products for Washington College. He had a Catholic high school, the other one from Catholic, Grayson Maggi.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited to see Keenan on the field. Years ago, one of my former campers, and I'm always real proud and happy to see these Virginia Beach kids go on and do some stuff at the next level.
Goal scored by Chris Capazali for Washington College. And that goal for Chris Capazali makes it 12-2 in favor of the Shoremen as he's starting to get on the act, and some of the players that aren't even in the lineup that are getting subbed in, increasing the advantage.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my lineup here straight now. Yeah, correct. Capazali's a freshman, and he's running on this freshman midfield, so quote-unquote, that Nody has. Really kind of like their 3rd offensive group, maybe. But it's all a group of freshmen, including, like you mentioned, the kid from down here in the 757, McGrath. Good to see those guys get a little field time, and good to see him convert a goal.
Another face-off for Washington College. They make the good
great skip
fast
pass.
And a great skip that ends up in a goal, and that one is going to be scored for Washington College. Yet again, it's the sophomore midi goal from Gabe Telapena for Washington College. And we get a timeout, JP, with 10:48 to go in the first half, 13-2 in favor of the Shoremen.
Yeah, and so Delaplana there playing, he's listed as a midfielder. He's playing down on attack. He's a left-hander. And, Nody's got a good attack down there, but he's got a couple attackmen right now, Matt, that are out with injuries. And a couple good attackmen. A couple attackmen that would be playing for him in his regular rotation. So good to see Delaplana come in there and contribute when he's getting some minutes down on attack and helping him out from his regular midfield role.
So we'll take another timeout here. We've got more coming your way here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as you're watching Division III College Lacrosse, sponsored by Cashbox Coaching. Back in just a moment right here on Cova Sports TV. And we're back here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, 13-2 in favor of Washington College against Berry in this matchup at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, since they have gotten so many different contributors in this first half. JP, a team that's only loss of the season came to Randolph-Macon on the final Saturday of February, 16-15. I understand that was the game they were leading. Was it 15-12, and you told me?
Yeah. Talking to Nody yesterday, they were up 15-12 with a few minutes to play, and then J.B. Sheridan, the head coach up at Randolph-Macon, and his group up there in Yellow Jacket Land did a great job finishing that game and scoring the last 4 goals. I know it's one Nody and the Shoremen would love to have back, as I'm sure it's one J.B. and the Yellow Jackets are super thrilled to get. But, yeah, it's just a super impressive start for this Washington College group so far today.
And we see the face-off. Berry College able to come away with it on the move. Yet again, it's the one that just scored a goal moments ago, Caleb Johnston.
Really good face-off win for Johnson for Berry. Another good shot for him.
Yeah.
That very easily could have gone in, but that's a heck of a save by 52 for the Shoremen. Another successful clear for Washington College.
As they try to get back on the attack.
Yeah, I think they're going to get their substitutes here.
Taking their time, a little patient maneuvers. It's going to be tossed over from Talon Baylor, who's got the assist that we've talked about. And so effective in setting up his teammates to score.
Yeah, and he has thrown some really good passes so far today. These kids wearing maroon today look like they came to play. And,
They definitely do.
And here comes 21, sweeping right through the middle of the field. That's a heck of a shot to get for a midfielder. Hands are clean, middle of the field. It's a shot I think any coach would want to see his guys get most possessions.
They've got multiple Jakes and multiple Jacks, JP. That was Jake Arcudi, the 5'11 freshman from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Annam Township. And once again, that one gets away for a second, but they're able to get to it quickly with Aiden Ventura.
Yeah, another great lacrosse program that you're talking about there with Mannheim, and a fellow conference competitor there, Franklin and Marshall. Coach Cav,
Yeah.
if you're listening, how'd you let that kid get away? Why'd you let him get to Washington College and not stay home in the land of the diplomats, Franklin and Marshall University?
Cole Dedinger up ahead, and that one was safe there that time, as that was an attempt from Nate Winters, who's got multiple goals in this game already. He had the first one to start the game and the last one to end the opening period.
Fairly standard save and good transition.
Oh, what
by
a
the
find
Vikings.
there. That was the combination set up with Andrew Duffy hitting for Berry College, Josip Brozovic for the goal, the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia.
That's one of the best names you could possibly have, Brozovic.
Oh,
Great goal, Brozovic.
That goal for Berry College, courtesy of Josip Brozovic on the assist from Andrew Duffy.
Brozovic there running the roper position. I refer to my long stick midfielders as ropers.
Okay.
Anyone out there that gets confused, I apologize. But Brozovic running the roper spot there, great transition offensive goal for him. Good goal by Berry College there. Little tightrope action there by Berry didn't work, and Tom Bell, the lead official on today's contest, makes the correct call there, gives it to Washington College.
More substitutions for Washington College as they get it over to Jack DePuis, Alexandria, Virginia product out of Episcopal. They've got an established program.
Absolutely. Great program up there.
One of the better private schools in the entire Commonwealth, as it's going to be inside the 30 here on the move. Washington College with Tuck Levanis.
Good offense there by WC. Really good backside offense, and look at the shot it creates. But another good save.
Yeah.
Maybe not challenged as well as he could have been on that shot, but that's a good, solid save for the netminder there for the Vikings.
Burgee able to get DePuis's
Got a little transition here.
toss.
Yeah.
That one takes a bounce, though, a hop on that attempt from Sean Johnson.
And Skeen did get a piece of that one. And this could be his shot here. I think the Berry guys have got to be a little bit more aggressive there with hands free. They had a decent shot there and maybe passed it up. And the length and size and speed of this Washington College defense is going to give you trouble.
I was just wondering, too, JP, how much do you think fatigue is starting to set in a little bit? Because it feels like they're making more subs frequently, and they're fresher right now than Berry, which is just trying to get to halftime, hanging on to an extent to where this is within reach, if you will.
Yeah, well, Berry down in Mount Berry, Georgia, I don't think their preseason weather was quite as cold as it was for the Shoremen up in Chestertown, Maryland. So they're probably a little bit more used to the heat, to be honest with you. But let's call it like it is, man. It's March 10, correct? And it's 80 degrees out here. It's an AstroTurf field. Shout out to Chuck Thornton and the Virginia Beach Sportsplex crew here. I know they just had the turf replaced, and they went with that fancy non-heat absorbing turf.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. It really does.
Yeah. But, now these guys, this is an adjustment. These guys aren't used to playing in 80-degree weather. So both teams are adjusting to it.
Berry on the move here on the run, as we see.
That's a great clear by 27 for Berry.
Mikey Statham.
Yeah, Mikey, great job. That's a heck of a clear. And it leads to great offense.
And nearly a goal, as that was a great look and opportunity for Finn McClendon, 5'11 junior from Carrollton, Georgia. We've called out his name a couple of times here, JP, because he's been involved on a couple of shots. He has 8 goals coming in, third most on the team behind only Owen Marini and Michael Byrne.
Yeah, Matt, you're spot on. It's a great opportunity, and it all came off the successful clear. The successful clear was triggered there, in this case, by 27 Statham. Old school reference to Coach Willie Scroggs down at the University of North Carolina. That was a punt return clear.
All those special teams guys. And we see a fight for it there, but Washington College able to look at the heads-up play just to throw it up ahead and keep it moving for Washington College. Brian Blanche, the 6'5", 210-pound junior. That one gets away from one of the Washington College players, and Drew McCormick, but he's got a teammate able to save it for him, and that's Nate Winters, allowing them to clear things out and try to reignite this attack.
Oh, great one more by the Washington College kid, number 9. That's a shorty there going down to an attackman. I think he caught the attackman off guard with the one more pass. 9.
At number 9.
Really had an opportunity to shoot that, but being unselfish there. And when you're up 13-5,
sure.
Or 13-3, excuse me, you certainly have the ability to make a play that maybe you wouldn't make if it was a 4-3 game.
Well, and Carson Crawford's already scored today, so he's trying to spread the wealth. He had the game's 7th goal back at the 4:08 mark of our opening period. Here's another move, and that's going to be a goal scored for Washington College as they add to their lead. The 5'11", 175-pound freshman from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, with 5:26 to go in the half. Jake Arcudi with the latest goal for Washington College as they add to their lead, JP, as they are continuing to really execute and do the fundamental things that I'm sure has been preached from day one here for Coach Nody, Josh Nostrand at Washington College.
Absolutely. And again, I got to ask my buddy Todd Cavallero up at Franklin and Marshall as he's sitting at his desk here at lunchtime scouting out the Shoremen. How the heck did you let that kid get out of Lancaster, Cavi? That's a good-looking lacrosse player right there.
And only a freshman who's going to be better and better as you watch him in the years to come, you would suspect. And Berry College with Colin Dean, the 5'9" junior attacker. Berry trying to get a little bit of momentum before halftime, trailing this one by 11. This is a Washington College team that has already won this season 2 games by double-figure goals. Susquehanna, the latest one that they beat back on March the 3rd, 17-7. And this one's shaping up to be a very similar type of result, the way they have dominated from the very start. Berry trying to get into the zone as they feed that one over to Owen Marini. I mentioned him being the leading scorer for them. They've done a good job of trying to put the clamps on him throughout the day at Washington College. They know who the top 2 or 3 scorers are coming in and making it hard for him as you see multiple maroon shirts just swarming him, and they get possession back. Great job there as Brian Blanche comes away with it for Washington College.
This Blanche kid is impressive for the Shoremen. Long lefty defender. He's created a lot of havoc. He's picked up a couple loose balls. He's cleared the ball himself a couple times. He's an impressive-looking defender for the Shoremen.
Well, you know this, JP, in your years of being a student of the game of the sport, when you go out to evaluate and you see these prospects, whatever sport it might be, lacrosse, football, you name it, he passes the eye test from the very look.
Well, it's funny. I think, quite honestly, yes, you're correct, Matt. And both these teams, in my opinion, passed the eye test. I walked down on the field before the game and just kind of shot the breeze with a couple of players and the coaches. And the Shoremen are big and athletic. The Vikings, I tell you, they're a good-looking group. They're athletic as heck when you look at them. Obviously, right now they're getting the short end of the stick, but both teams look pretty big and athletic for Division III lacrosse teams.
Well, and I can see why they've already won a couple of close games here. 12-9 over Methodist to start the season off back on February 7th. They beat Huntington 14-9. They did have a close loss to Bridgewater back 3 days ago on the road, 11-8. But I can see a lot of games decided by 4 goals or less as this season goes on that they end up winning because they continue to have that stick-to-itiveness about them and that pesky mentality. They've won some face-offs, just haven't finished off. And here's a chance on the move. Washington College with Nate Winters can't get that one to go as it ricochets off, but back comes Berry on the run here behind none other than Mitch Batchoing. He's going to get it over to teammate.
And that's a heck of a save there by the Berge kid. That's a great save for Berry. That was a bad failed clear for Berry College. They shouldn't be failing a clear like that. But Berge really bailed them out there. Yeah, and coming back to your point, Matt, you make such a good point about the Berry College Vikings. They'll fight and scrap, right? And that comes from the top. I've known Curtis for a long time. Curtis is a competitor. He was a tough, hard-nosed player. He won a national championship at Washington College in 1998 with Hawsey and with Todd Cavallero there as an assistant as well. The guy I'm kind of giving a hard time about letting the kid get out of Mannheim. But, yeah, Curtis is going to make sure that his guys play hard. And he's going to make sure that they're tough. And I guarantee you his approach right now with his guys, he's evaluating right now. He's looking to see who's going to play hard. He's looking to say who's going to play tough. He's going to look to see if there's any hanging heads, if there's any shrugging shoulders, if there's any palms up in the air, or he's going to see if their body language is right and if they're competing and playing hard. And he's going to learn a lot about his group the rest of this game today.
And there's a nice find as they get it over to Nate Winters on the pass from Tuck Levinas. And that's what it's all about with coaching and development here as we took under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Washington College up comfortably 14-3, but there are games that are designed to be put on the schedule. We see it in all different sports. You name it, football, basketball, baseball, here in lacrosse, that it from later on, what lessons do you take from it? What things do you apply moving forward that can be positives or you build on? And I think both of these teams, they have this type of matchup, this type of game in a setting such as this one, the beautiful artificial turf at the Sportsplex, to get better from and progress. And certainly Washington College is the team. They see the scoreboard and you say they got the mission accomplished. But 2-3 weeks from now, the Vikings can be better from this as well.
There is no question. I think I mentioned it early in the game, Matt. I made a point that this is a great non-conference game. Not trying to be disrespectful to either group here, but it certainly is a little bit more of a marquee matchup, quote unquote, for Barry. Mm-hmm. Washington College has a lot more tradition in this game. Right now, let's just call it like it is. They're probably a little bit better, at least as far as the scoreboard indicates right now than Barry is. Barry's going to grow a ton from this. When they get into the Southern Athletic Association play, it's a 7-team league. The top 4 teams make their conference tournament. That's got to be goal number 1 for Curtis and his group. Let's get in the conference tournament, which I would suspect they will. But when you're talking about Center College and you're talking about some of these other good programs, Sewanee with Nick DiBernardo down there in Tennessee. You're looking at Rhodes, defending champ from that league. There's some good programs in that Southern Athletic Association. And those guys can blow me up right now and all that stuff, but no disrespect, they're not quite at the same caliber as the Centennial Conference, at least not top to bottom. And so for Curtis to schedule this game and to get the Shoremen on his schedule, it's going to pay dividends. And even though they're losing it right now, even though they're getting beat up a little bit, it's going to pay off for them when March 21st hits and they get into conference play.
Vikings play Marymount coming up on Thursday. Then it's Rhodes College, Oglethorpe, Southern Virginia University, and then they open up April at Sewanee, who you just mentioned, in Tennessee on that first Saturday in April. It's going to be the horn sounding. It goes behind the net, and that will take us to halftime where Washington College has a 14-3 lead on top of Barry. We'll step aside and give you some halftime thoughts in a bit after you hear from some of the sponsors to help make it possible in this Division III college lacrosse matchup on a beautiful, warm, sunny Tuesday in March. And we've got more coming your way right here on Cova Sports TV. Stick around.
Can I be expected to tolerate? So I started to think about the plans I made this day, unpaid, and you just can't call a spade a spade. I watched the moon, let it run my mood, can't stop thinking of you.
Working at EST has been one of the best experiences of my life. Actually wanting to get up and come to work every day, knowing that you're going to learn something new.
It's a new challenge every day, new projects, new designs. It is always something new and exciting going on around here.
Everybody here that I've talked to seems to really enjoy their job and really love coming into work every single day. When you work in that type of environment every day, it just makes it easier to come in the next day.
We're always here to back each other up and help each other out whenever we need it. ASC is like a family.
They really enable everyone here to grow into whatever they need to in their position and get the additional training, get the additional education, and they really do help to make it flexible within your work schedule to be able to make that happen.
We'll work with them to help them figure out how to get from step A to step B. A lot of times it might include taking some educational classes at the community college, as well as on-the-job training. If it's a skill like welding, we might send them to Saturday welding school for 10 Saturdays.
If you have a lot of experience in doing what you're doing, that's great. Come on in, come apply. If you don't have any experience, that's fine too. We will teach you. A lot of what we do here at ASC is to develop careers. Some of the other benefits that we have here at ASC, which are very strong: health insurance, dental insurance, vision, supplemental insurances, a 401k plan. That's a safe harbor plan.
The benefits, the surprise bonuses, the company is very understanding and adjusting rates with inflation and things like that. They've definitely made it worthwhile.
When you come here, you might think that you know what it will look like, but 5 years down the road, you might find yourself a plant supervisor. You never know.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
And we welcome you back to our continuing coverage of Division III men's lacrosse from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. We're at the half. Our score, that's Washington College, the Shoremen, on top of Berry College's Vikings by a count of 14-3. Our game today brought to you by the great folks, of course, as we mentioned earlier here on our broadcast, Matt Hatfield alongside J.P. Stewart, as we talk to you from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex on this warm, and I do mean warm, sunny Tuesday in the month of March. Our game today is brought to you by Cashbox Coaching. Find them online at cashboxcoaching.com/JP. That's Cashbox, K-A-S-H-B-O-X, coaching.com/JP. Give them a call at 757-575-9640. And we're being streamed today on Cova Sports TV on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe and interact for all of our different various live sporting events, podcasts, and so much more. JP, your thoughts of the first half. You know, coming in, we all anticipated Washington College would have the upper hand. They came with a better record, 4-1 versus 3-2 for the Berry Vikings. And let's just be perfectly honest here. Historically, they've had the edge in this series, winning matchups. So they haven't had a whole lot of them. 3 all-time, all in Chestertown, Maryland. 12-6 back in 2025. 21-12 in 2019. That had to be a heck of a game with 33 goals scored, and 9-4 in 2016. But they didn't flinch out of the very gate, and there really hasn't been much of a let-up.
Yeah, I've been impressed since the opening whistle. I mean, first face-off, take it down, 4v3 goal right off the opening whistle. Then the next chance they touch the ball, they get another transition goal, and then it's just been a downhill run from there. John Nostrand, is an incredible coach in my opinion, and was just an incredible hire for Washington College 5 years ago when they were able to bring him back to Chestertown. And, it's come to fruition. This group looks the part. They're really good on D, it looks like. They're long. They look tough. They look athletic. Nody's really letting them play down there. They're pressuring this Berry group a little bit more than Berry's probably used to being pressured. The midfield is, in my opinion, looks fantastic for the Shoremen right now. Their shorties are athletic. They're fast. They're getting out and running and creating transition. He's played 3 midfields on the offensive zone so far. And my apologies if I missed a 4th group playing in that first half. But that freshman group we talked about there for a second, their top 2 lines looked good. And the attack, Matt, when I talked to Nody, he was concerned because he had a couple of attackmen that are missing some time and some good players. If this is his version of quote-unquote a 3rd, 4th, 5th attack man, these guys can play. And they look good, and I'm impressed with their speed. I feel like they're closing gaps on Berry pretty quickly, and they're playing hard. You flip it over to Berry, and I'm impressed with Berry too. And I know that might sound funny at 14-3, whatever the scoreboard's reading right now, but Berry's playing hard right now. And like I mentioned earlier with Curtis, he's in there right now talking to his guys. He's probably challenging them a little bit and probably asking them to come out here and compete. At the end of the day, like I said, I think the build for them is aimed at 11 days from now when they jump into the Southern and see what they can do.
Yeah, and Caleb Johnson had a key goal for them, although 14 put on the board. Jake Arcudi had the last one for Washington College, that first one to begin the game. Nate Winters on an assist from Talon Baylor. Paxton Warnock with a goal, and then an assist to Aiden Ventura, who scored again. The assist from Connor Updegraff, who's got multiple assists. Winner scored again, Carson Crawford. Tuck Levanis, just a household list of names. Chris Capozelli with a goal. And you know this too, JP, that what separates the good from the great, the championship level contenders, is do you have that depth? Can you build that? And Washington College trying to build that to where they can compete with the best nationally. They have St. John Fisher on deck coming up on Saturday. That will be no easy matchup. Dickinson's also a ranked team that you touched on later in the month of March as they get closer and closer to tourney time, if you will. Swarthmore's on the schedule. They've got a history. They're 18th in America, and Gettysburg is number 10. Is the looks like it's the last game before the War on the Shore, the Charles B. Clark Cup, that they play Salisbury, who's got certainly a rich tradition. So there are some heavy hitters that await them in the days and weeks, and we should say even a month to come.
Yeah, Matt, when we talked a few minutes ago about the Southern Athletic Association and the conference tournament there, the Centennial Conference has 9 teams that play men's lacrosse. They just expanded within the last couple of years to 5 teams now make their conference tournament. For years it was only 4. Quite honestly, in my opinion, they should be taking 6 in that league into their conference tournament. Top to bottom, the Centennial is one of the best conferences in the country. You look at the Centennial, you look at the NESCAC, in particular, you look at the ODAC. There's some really good conferences out there, the Empire 8. But the Centennial is one of them. And, you know, some of those teams you're mentioning, you know, that Washington College is going to have to go medal with here in the next few weeks. The F&Ms, the Gettysburgs, the Swarthmores, the Dickinsons, you name it. You play lacrosse in the Centennial, you need to put that chin strap on and go to it because you're playing good, high-quality opponents.
Yeah, it's Division III opponents, but there are players that are really not far removed from having the abilities to go play at a higher level than that. You know,
yeah, well, Matt, you're spot on. That's one of the things in our sport that is different than others. There's only 65 or 70 teams in Division I men's lacrosse. There are thousands and thousands of high school lacrosse players playing now, and it's all over the place. It's no longer just limited to Baltimore and to Long Island and to upstate. And what you get is you get an awful lot of Division I caliber lacrosse players that either run out of spaces at the Division I schools or they choose to go to a Division III school for various reasons. And you find numerous kids that are on this field here, but at most Division III competitive lacrosse games that could be playing at a school with a Roman numeral 1 behind it.
Well, you told me if I'm wrong, too. Since we talk about getting out of COVID back in 2020, 2021, we've seen all different sports affected by it, where we've seen more athletes fall through the cracks, that they're getting some great diamonds in the rough or gems that a Division III program like either one of these two that we're watching compete today, Washington College or Barry, will get. And you could say, my goodness, there are probably a couple schools out there, maybe even Division I's, that said, I could have got that player and he could have developed into our program and been a contributor, right?
There's no question. There's no question. And, you know, it'll be really curious to see over the next few years if lacrosse patterns football and basketball with the portal. And it is to a degree right now, but not to the scale that basketball and football are. But yeah, there'd be a lot of coaches out there that would be really happy with some of the players from this team, or from these teams, excuse me. You know, we'll just see where that develops and where that goes.
Yeah, the growth of the game, certainly the evolution, it's been neat to watch here, and we see the face-off to get this second half underway with Washington College in the maroon, Barry in the gray. As we begin the second half, you see the tussle there between Caleb Johnston, who has a goal in this game, as well as Ronan Miller for Washington College. And as you mentioned earlier, the one infraction, I mean, he couldn't do the face-off late in the first half, but, you know, he's chomping at the bit here to make his presence felt over these last couple of frames as you see.
Yeah, and Ronan will miss the next face-off again off that violation, Matt. And but I will say, I'm really impressed with the number 1 kid from Barry, Caleb Johnson. He's done a heck of a job so far. He's won most of his face-offs. He's created some transition for the Vikings. You mentioned the goal he scored. He's kind of like a spark plug type player for them, it looks like, and he's doing a good job. And as we say that, you see Washington College has substituted some guys. You know, it looks like Nody's going to get some dudes, some burn that maybe didn't play as much in the first half as they will this half. And coming back to our point, your question a few minutes ago about the level of play of some of these guys, we're going to see a new goaltender for WC here. Keegan Dunn, number 29, freshman, 6'1", 230 from St. Joe's Prep up in New Jersey.
You're high on this kid, right?
Real high on him. Nody speaks tremendously high of him. Really felt like the kid was a Division I type goaltender, and I'm excited to see the kid play. I think he's going to be a pretty good one for Washington College here in the future.
Tuck Levin is playing a little bit of keep away as they get it back over to the right, and on the move for Washington College, Connor Philistine. First time we've called him out, I think, a 5'9" attacker and senior from Rising Sun, Maryland, John Carroll, but Berry College now with possession. Here they are on the move.
And that's another good save there for Thomas Burgee, the goaltender, number 30 for Berry. He's done a good job, in my opinion, since he came in there at the end of the first quarter. He entered the game. They were down 8-0. He's given up a couple goals, but he's made some saves. He's keeping the scoreboard a little bit in check right now. That was a decent save there for Burgee.
Sean Johnson had it for a moment there. And now Berry working with it right behind the net and getting in front for them. That's Michael Barron with Washington College. We see a flag thrown.
I don't love this call, but they're going to call Washington College here. I think he's going to get him for a slash. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, they're calling a slash on that. I'd rather see that one just be a play on. There's nothing egregious there.
Again, our head ref, Tom Bell, umpire Jesse Springer, and field judge Sam Walker for today's contest as the clock stops with 12:48 to go.
So Berry will be on the +1 here. They'll have a 1-minute foul. They're starting in a 1-4 set. See what they're going to try to get off their first man-up action of the day. This could be a nice goal to start the half for Berry.
McClendon got rid of it. Now you get it over to Tad Zappa. Zappa back over to McClendon.
Looks like they want to split the crease and bring these guys out. And they kind of go into an open set and a little bit of a cutter set. And they got a heck of a right-handed rocket there from number 14 for Berry College on that right-handed step down.
McClendon with the goal there for Berry.
That's a heck of a shot.
Finn McClendon with the goal for Berry College. And it comes with 12:25 to go in the third. He's had some moments here, second and third quarter, JP, where he's shown some promise.
Absolutely. That was a nice right-handed shot. We just talked about the potential that this new kid in the goal has for WC, and then, of course, first shot he sees is a rocket off the man-up. Tough way to start a half as a goaltender, but let's give Berry some credit there. That's a great man-up goal for them to get the second half moving.
McClendon came in with 8 goals and an assist on the season.
And there's another great play by Johnson for Berry, getting that ball forward, winning that face-off. Unfortunately, looks like WC is going to come up for that ball if you're a Berry fan.
And this is the chance here for Berry to make things more competitive. A lot of different, you mentioned earlier with Washington College, making some substitutions. Coach Nostrand bringing in some different faces and going deeper into his bench, and he keeps subbing in and out. We always call it almost the fire drill mentality, bring them in and out.
Absolutely.
Where they're bringing in different lineups and seeing how some of these lineups work with each other. That's a big thing for these coaches to see as they move into the teeth of their schedule and get ready for conference play, to see what combinations work well together and what don't, almost like an extra depth chart, which we get sometimes with the scrimmages and the practices, to see as they evaluate their guys and the tendencies. So that one's going to be another nice goal scored for Washington College, as it's done by the 5'9", 175-pound sophomore from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Goal courtesy of Gabe Telapena for Washington College. With 11:30 to go in the third, it's an 11-point lead again for them. And Gabe has stepped to the forefront here on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, and that was a really nice goal there. He recognized the Berry guys got a little bit discombobulated there. There's some confusion. Coach Gilbert's not going to like that one. That's going to be on the film review as soon as this afternoon, I would imagine.
Face off here, and it's going to be a good bound on Washington College coming away with it, as we see Vernon Miller back in there.
Good face-off win for Miller.
And now Washington College with Colin Scattergood. First time we, I think, shouted him out. 5'11", 165-pound sophomore from Sudlersville, Maryland.
Good pressure there by Berry. I'll tell you what, Matt, you got to look at the little things in this game.
Yeah.
That Berry College group right there really hustled, really played hard, rode really hard off of a lost faceoff, and they created a turnover. If I'm Coach Gilbert, that would be on film review this afternoon as well, just to point out some really positive things that his guys did.
They cut that window down for them to basically attack through.
Yeah, that was not an easy turnover to create. That's a good job by the Vikings. And a good clear here by 27. Coming back to my guy, Coach Scroggs down at Carolina, he used to call that a punt return. And you can probably do the math on that. You know, the athletic clearing midfielder who just legs the ball out of his own defensive zone. And 27 for Barry now has done that.
Statham.
Mikey Statham. He's done that a couple times. That's a good clear by 27 for Barry.
Now Barry on the move with McClendon. Trying to get set up like they did that previous goal they had, where they can work it around the horn a bit.
Good little pick action by Barry behind the goal.
Quentin O'Connor distributing it. Now on the move again, we see Zappa. There's a flag thrown.
Yeah, so we'll have a flag down. I do like that call there. That's a good call by the far official. He's not an official I recognize, so I'm not going to try to venture a guess on the name there. But that's a good call there. I think the Washington kid got a little over-aggressive there. And good for Barry here. They created a little bit more space on offense that time, Matt. And that space is your best friend offensively. It created good things for them on offense. They create the flag down, and we'll see if they can go 2 for 2 on their man up. They converted their first opportunity, and here's opportunity number 2 for them. Looks like they're starting a little bit of a different set in a 2-2 here.
Different formation here. Zappa gets rid of it over high feed. It's hauled in. Good job there by Andrew Duffy to bring it in. They work it back around again, going counterclockwise. Now Zappa's got it.
Trying to run a little bit of a seal play there and a little bit of an exchange. And now it looks like they might be in the more of their traditional 3-3 set is their secondary look.
Oh, and that one just got away.
Just a little bit of a mishandle there by Barry. That's unfortunate for them. Watch out for the Shoremen, though. I bet you they'd like to get a quick restart here. Yep, they get their shorty right to it.
Need to waste no time like they did to begin this game to see if they can get in position to strike. Keegan Dunn, one of those freshmen, now on the run with Connor Updegraff. Updegraff has already got a couple of assists. Tosses it up ahead.
Great heads-up team play there by Washington College on the clear to stay on sides. And as I say that, maybe a little bit of a non-heads-up play there.
Yeah, Philistine had it for a moment.
Yeah, stepped out of bounds, and you know maybe I'm being a little too critical on that one. There's so many lines out here. These kids haven't played on this field before. He probably just got confused with his spacing.
That one over the head of Mitch Badchoing.
Either way, Nody's not going to like it. Is that a
quick timeout is called with 9:02 to go in the third, so we'll take a quick one as well and hear from some of the people that helped make it possible, including John's Tax Services. You're watching Division III men's lacrosse action from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, Washington College, up 15-4 on Barry. Our game brought to you today by Cashbox Coaching here on Cova Sports TV.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. You need John Maynard. PFP, LUTCF, EA, all those initials behind his name mean he's qualified to work on your taxes. He's an ATA, accredited tax advisor. He's an ATP, accredited tax preparer. He's a fellow at NTPI, the National Tax Practice Institute. And if all that weren't enough, he's also been voted the best of Norfolk and the best of Virginia Beach awards. John Maynard has been professionally trained in tax preparation and representation. He brings to the table over 30 years' experience in federal and state returns. He delivers personalized, one-on-one service, and he's a certified electronic filer. The IRS likes electronic filers. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service, 455-6763.
757-455-6763 for John's Tax Services. 9:02 remaining in the third quarter. Washington College from Maryland on top of Barry out of the Peach State 15-4 with JP Stewart. I'm Matt Haffey. We thank you for tuning in here on Cova Sports TV. If you're just now joining us in the maroon, it is Washington College, the Shoremen, in the gray, the Vikings of Barry College, as we see a lot of different combinations for this Washington College unit here. JP Luca Signorella with it as they operate going from east to west, if you will, in the 40s, but now trying to twist his way through and get in the offensive zone. Jake Arcudi, who's had a couple of highlight reel moments in this game, trying to get another goal. This time it's going to be another good save there by Berge.
That is a good save, and we're going to see some different combinations for the Shoremen, but I think we're going to see some different combinations here too, Matt, for the Vikings. That last time out by Coach Gilbert was clearly a wake-up call type timeout.
Yeah, you can see.
You could see him imploring his group coming out of the timeout to get there, meaning to get back to where the play was going to start, show some hustle, show some heart, show some fight maybe. I have a feeling that's going to be a big point of emphasis down the stretch here for Coach Gilbert, Coach Byers, and the rest of this great Viking staff.
So pass over here as Washington College looks to be a little more deliberate here with 7.5 minutes to go. See how the Vikings try to deny them. In possession with it is Reeve Hargrave, the junior from Timonium, Maryland. Over to Jake Arcudi. Now operating with it is Connor Philistine. Called him out a couple of different times, but again, ran out of room to run, and back over to Barry.
Yeah, a little sloppy there by the shoreman. Nobody's not going to like that. Just a bad exchange, and the shoremen are clearly good enough to make that exchange on a consistent basis. I think just there, a little lack of execution. Good clear here by the Vikings.
Vikings trying to.
And here come the substitution patterns again.
Give themselves a chance to pull within 10 here, trailing at 15-4 as we take under 7 minutes to go into third. Barry with Finn McClendon, who had a goal earlier in this quarter. For those wondering about the Division III championships, it's going to be on May the 24th at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the state of Virginia. First time ever, well, I shouldn't say ever. I'm sure UVA hosted at some point way back when Coach Duquette was playing. But
yeah.
To have the Final Four in the championships in Charlottesville, Virginia this year is really, really cool for the state of Virginia. It's traditionally the last few years been Baltimore, New England, et cetera. So that'll be great for some Virginia Beach lacrosse fans, Charlottesville lacrosse fans, Richmond lacrosse fans, Northern Virginia, et cetera, to have a close-to-home trip.
And the selection show that Sunday, May the 3rd at 9 o'clock Eastern on NCAA.com for folks that want to find out more about the Division III lacrosse ranks.
Yeah, so in that regard, Matt, you're familiar with the other sports way more than I am, but we're a really unique game in lacrosse in that our championship weekend, it's the Division I Final Four.
Oh, goal score. We'll let you continue here in a second, but that goal we want to shout out here for Washington College as they add their lead here, courtesy of that senior, Connor Philistine, with the latest goal for Washington College. Comes with 5:54 to go in the third. But continue on there, JP, because it is a unique celebration for the sport that weekend.
It is. It's. And sorry, I was over talking there on Philistine's goal. That was actually a heck of a goal by Philistine, a great rollback. But yeah, the Division I men's Final Four, the Division II National Championship, the Division III National Championship, and then culminating with Memorial Day, the Division I men's National Championship. It's just an awesome weekend for the lacrosse fan.
And I know a lot of folks wish that was done in other sports like basketball, for example. Now, this year they have it all kind of in that centralized area for Indianapolis and Indiana for the 1, 2, and 3, but it doesn't really happen that way. But lacrosse has got, I'll say it, they got it right with the way they work it.
I selfishly think lacrosse has gotten it right too. And yeah, years ago when I was still coaching at the NCAA level, I remember the Division I men's basketball Final Four, which everyone knows March Madness is probably the biggest revenue maker in college athletics. They actually tried to incorporate the Division III championship and Division II championships. Problem was, those tournaments were over so much earlier than the Division I men's championship. I can't remember who played in it that year. It was probably about 10 years ago. And it was some sort of a celebration, anniversary celebration. But in the Division I men's Final Four weekend, they incorporated the Division III men's national championship. Well, those teams had to wait like 3 weeks to play. And it just doesn't make sense logistically.
As the clock is ticking down to 8-7 on the shot clock, and we see a collision there. And slow to get up for Barry is number 14 in Finn McClendon.
The officials just let them off the hook. I think that one should have gone uncalled. No disrespect. Not trying to play official up here, but. So what happened there, Matt? The shot clock was winding down. You nailed that, right? Barry needed to get a shot on goal, and they weren't having any success. Well, the loose ball push that just got called on Washington College then gives possession back to Barry College, but worse, it resets the shot clock.
No doubt. And There were some groans across the way from the Washington College sideline.
Yeah,
They did
no
not
one-
like that.
No one likes to see that. Let's give them credit for that first 58 seconds of that possession and let that thing come to an end. Good defense there by the Shoremen, getting it back, man. Their defenders, Nody was spot on, and this is their backup group here that's playing. These kids could be starters for a lot of places.
And that's going to be one of the most pleasing things for a coaching staff to see their seconds and thirds come in and there not be a significant drop-off, but those athletes step right in and answer the bell.
And the other thing, Matt, think about practice days.
Yes.
Think about the days, today's a Tuesday. But let's think about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as these guys go home and get ready for St. John Fisher. Sure. If you've got a second group of defenders that's going to play really, really well and play really, really hard, well, how much better is your offense getting?
Absolutely. You make your ones better. That one just went away from the net there, but another good look again for Philistine, who's a senior that's accepting of his role. That's another big thing, too, is how much do you accept your role? There's some are attackers, some are middies, some are defenders. Can you accept and buy into your role? That's what also distinguishes between the teams that can go achieve some of their goals and the ones that fall short of them at the end of the day.
No question about it.
There's a couple of dribblers inside. That one's going to be scored. Yes.
Great handle on the inside off the loose ball deflect.
Yeah, that was number 40 for Washington College, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yep.
And Luke Fiorello is a sophomore attacker, so we will give him a quick shout-out. Luke Fiorillo with the goal for Washington College.
And great stick skills there by the Fiorello kid. Picked up a tough loose ball on the inside. The 55 kid for Washington College there. I'm sorry to all of you listening.
Philistine, I believe, yeah.
Right off my top of my head. Yeah, Philistine.
Yeah.
That was a great little offensive wrinkle he threw there. So kind of coming back to your point about those backup defenders, how about some of the backup offensive players for the Shoremen right now? I mean, these kids, again, I bet you they could go to numerous programs and be impact players / starters. He's got some good depth here. He's got some good players here coming off the bench, and exciting to see them get involved here.
Well, and what that latest goal does for Washington College here, JP and Coach Nody, as they have now competed in their 6 contests. They've matched their season high in goals from the Widner game and also Susquehanna when they had 17 in each of those, and their travels to Pennsylvania, in Maryland, of course, playing in Virginia now, their second game in the Commonwealth of VA. Chance to exceed that here before the fourth quarter even commences here, as they have a couple of minutes to try to get possession back and add to it. But at this moment, Berry College trying to get closer with Tad Zappa. Now they work it from behind the cage here, looking to slice it through, but that one for Barron got stopped.
That's a good save there, and Washington College has made another change in the goal here. Trying to pick that number up for you here, Matt. I'm having a little bit of difficulty seeing it.
Help you out here. 33, yeah.
33 is Colin Gray. Colin is a junior from Broadneck High School up in Annapolis, Maryland. He is a Bruin. Good lacrosse program there in Annapolis.
Coming in, Colin Gray.
Great run out there, Colin Gray. Just as we're talking about you, my man. That's a great run out by one of the backup goaltenders for Coach Nostrand and the Shoremen.
He's used 3 behind Skeet Hine, who got that Conference Defender of the Week award. Keegan Dunn, Tommy Winslow, and Colin Gray have all gotten time. And with just a little under 2 minutes to go in the third period, we see some substitutions as Barry.
Great clear there by Washington College. They've been good in their clear game. I'd be curious what the stats are. They've been solid in the clear game so far for the Shoremen.
Yeah, very impressive.
And this looks like a new group in the midfield. If I'm mistaken here, I apologize. But it looks like some new guys getting some burn here for WAC.
From behind the net. Get it over back again to Philistine.
This Philistine kid's good. He's got a little bounce.
He does.
And he's drawn too.
Trying to stay up, and there's Philistine again with another goal for Washington College.
Man, he is like a hiccup, isn't he? That kid's got some quickness behind him.
Latest goal for Washington College, courtesy of Connor Philistine. So he has risen to the occasion in this third stanza.
Yeah, so my point, and your point too, Matt, about kind of the quote-unquote second-level guys or backup guys, and no disrespect to any of these kids, but there's only 3 guys that are going to start on attack, right?
Yeah.
And so here the Philistine kid is, he'd only played in 2 games coming in. I don't know if that's an injury thing or not. I'm not that closely intertwined with the program to be able to tell you that. He'd had 2 goals and 3 shots on the season. You look at him right now, he looks like a heck of a player.
Yeah. He looks like one of the mainstays the way he's performing. And here's Barry after the
That's
face-off.
number 1 again. And is that our guy Johnson?
It is.
He's battling. He
just needs a little bit of help right now because there's pockets of players right now that are having moments, but it's just getting everybody in sync on the same page, because if you have 1 or 2 elements off, that's where things can go a little haywire. Right now, Barry's trying to stay after it and continue to fight.
Yeah, it gets tricky at times, right? But I will say one of the overriding themes from both coaches talking to him in the past couple days, Coach Nostrand referenced how he has 53 guys on his team. And he referenced to me right away, he said, of the 53 guys, we don't have a single, I won't use the exact word he used, but he spoke very highly of all 53 guys, how enjoyable they are to be around him, how much he's enjoying the process with them, etc. Well, in a similar conversation with Coach Gilbert, and that's a heck of a save there by the Washington goalie. That was a heck of a save.
Good job by Gray again as we watch the final seconds tick down. But that matters when you have that character, because it helps you persevere through the adversity and the moments
Makes
of
all
the
the
battle.
difference in the world.
In a long season, because it's a marathon, not a
all
sprint.
the difference in the world. And Coach Gilbert kind of told me the same thing, how much he's enjoying being around his guys, how hard they're working. They're both on spring trips, as we've talked about, and Curtis has gone to great lengths to create a really cool spring trip for his team from Barry. And he was just talking about how much he's enjoyed some of the activities they've done that haven't had anything to do with lacrosse. That goes a long way.
Yeah, we'll see if we have a sprint to the finish here, an 18-4 lead for Washington College against Barry in this Division III men's lacrosse matchup, brought to you by Cashbox Coaching. We'll also hear from one of our sponsors in Town Bank. When we come back, you're watching exclusive coverage on Cova Sports TV. Back in just a moment.
I grew up here. I know this town. I know the people here. More important, they know me. As a banker at Town Bank, we become part of the communities we serve. The people who bank with us, our members, know us. When you bank with Town Bank, you'll know your banker. You'll know you can reach us, and you'll know we're here for you.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
So big thanks to Cova Painting as well as Town Bank and Cashbox Coaching, helping us bring you this coverage of Division III men's lacrosse, where it is Barry College trailing Washington College 18-4. Simply a dominant performance here today from the Shoremen. Alongside J.P. Stewart, I'm Matt Hatfield. I want to thank Rachel Faison, Garrett Jackson, Colton Fitch, the entire crew, and Chuck Thornton, Nick Sinti, and the gang from Cova Sports TV as we bring you this coverage here on this beautiful Tuesday in the month of March. And tell you what, JP, you couldn't ask for much better weather. We've had a strange couple of months with snow and rain and cold temperatures, but when it's 78 degrees out here on a Tuesday in March, it makes us say, oh, spring is right around the corner. You got to enjoy it. And we've seen some really good quality athletes here today compete on this artificial turf at the Plex.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both teams are athletic. I think both teams can run a little bit. Obviously, the scoreboard's tilted in favor of WC right now, and deservedly so. They're playing a heck of a game. I'm really impressed with them as a group. But yeah, seeing some really good competition and some athletes out here, and I'm really looking forward to this fourth quarter. I know some lacrosse fans might look at me funny when I say that, but you learn a lot about your group in a situation like this, whether you're on the plus side of the scoreboard or the minus side of the scoreboard, and that's what it's all about, right? We all want to win every time we play, but unfortunately, there's only going to be one winner today. But there's going to be a loser, but both teams can certainly grow and get better from it.
Absolutely, and early
great
on,
lacrosse. Great, my point right there. Sorry, Matt, I just cut you off.
No, you're good.
I apologize. My point right there. You're losing 18-5, right? What's the easiest thing to do? Kind of pack it up and start working your way back to the hotel mentally right now. And Barry College has scored. That's a really pretty Division III lacrosse goal that just got scored there. So credit to the Vikings on that goal. That's a nice job.
Excellent job, as it was a good find. The assist courtesy of number 12, and then I'll give you who the goal was scored by in just a minute as he's getting all kinds of high fives and handshakes. That was 16 with the goal, so we will give you those shout-outs here. Assist by Michael Byrne, goal by Jacob Briggs for Berry College, as that cuts the deficit to 13 at 18-5.
Number 1, Caleb Johnson for Berry, another face-off win. Unfortunately, a turnover off that. I'm sure Coach Gilbert's starting to think about that next one. They play in about 48 hours. They're going to play Marymount University on Thursday. That's a fairly quick turnaround. That face-off guy's taking a lot of work today. I'm not going to be surprised if we don't see a whole lot more of number 1 for Berry down the stretch. You might want to put him on the shelf and let him rest up and get ready for the Saints from Marymount.
Yeah, take us through, JP, from your extensive years of coaching and training and following the sport closely, what the days are like leading up to and after games, as we watch here with Washington College on the move. They're trying to get closer again, and they use some spread tactics here with Peyton Elder and Chris Capozzali, who's had a couple of goals in this game here. You mentioned it, Marymount coming up on Thursday for Washington College. They have a little more time to recharge the batteries, get off their feet, with St. John Fisher coming up to Chestertown on Saturday for a 12 noon Eastern start. But what will both coaches and both staffs do here in the days leading up to those games and following this one here today?
Yeah, it's such a good question, Matt. And every coach is going to skin his cat a little bit differently, right? But if you're Berry College and you're Curtis Gilbert, you're playing today, expending a ton of effort and a ton of energy and a ton of prep, right? Curtis played at Washington College. This game meant a lot to him, means a lot to him. So there's been a whole lot of time, effort, energy invested here. Tomorrow, you really probably need a walkthrough. You probably need to watch a little film, maybe both on today and on Marymount. You need to get your guys a little fresh. Maybe have a little bit of a stick and glove type workout, touch the ball a little bit, but I wouldn't think they're going to do anything too extensive. Probably a lot of walkthrough stuff. If you're WC, you got a pretty traditional week here, and in Division III, the traditional quote-unquote week is usually Wednesday, Saturday. Playing the Tuesday, Saturday, which is the model a lot of the Division I programs do.
We'll stop here for a second. We have a quick goal. You can finish that point here, but Washington College adding to its lead with the latest goal. That one scored by Luke Fiorillo for Washington College, as it makes it 19-5. But yeah, the difference of having the Tuesday, Saturday, it makes a huge difference as opposed to playing Tuesday, Thursdays, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So what Nody and his crew will do, they'll tailgate with the families here for a little bit afterwards and get the guys fed and get the Gatorades and the waters in them and all the stuff they need to do, and then they'll bus them back up to Chestertown, about 4 hours from here. Nice, easy drive over the Eastern Shore. They're on spring break right now, so they're professional lacrosse players this week. They're not worrying about classes, obligations, things like that in the academic setting. They're able to focus a little bit more on lacrosse. Nody will probably have a couple cool activities for them, I would assume, up there in Chestertown. They'll probably do a couple things, but they'll get to practice, I would think, again tomorrow. His quote-unquote starters play the first half. That's less work than they would normally get, Matt, in a practice day. Yeah. So he's probably not as concerned with the wear and tear as maybe Curtis is going to be after this game. I would speculate that Nody will probably practice fairly hard tomorrow. He'll probably start to tone it down a little bit on Thursday, and then Friday will probably be a walkthrough day, getting ready for St. John Fisher and Coach Dobbins.
Yeah, it makes sense given that the schedule allows them that, and being able to get so many different subs here, the luxury here with this Washington College pretty much been building its depth here under his tutelage with 11 minutes and change to go here in regulation as we watch Cole Dettinger in possession.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you just made there, Matt. I'll jump in on. This is Nody's 5th year back at WAC, and it's the first year that every player in the program has been recruited by him. It doesn't matter what level you're coaching at, what sport you're coaching. That's a big deal.
And it's funny you said, because I always tell people, regardless of level, be it professional, college, or high school, that you really don't get a true gauge of a coaching staff until like year 3. Yep. This is now year 5, and we mentioned there's a couple of funky years when you have, the coming out of COVID with 2020, 2021. This is it's now his group, if you will. It's got his fingerprints on it.
Yep, no doubt, and you can see it. And this is I haven't seen Washington College play in a few years, and I'm uber impressed for one. But you can see Nody's fingerprints all over this thing, and it's really cool to see. I know one thing that I know Coach Nostrand has spent a lot of time with is re-engaging and engaging the lacrosse alumni from Washington College. Right now up there, Brian Matthews is the interim president. Brian Matthews is the former men's lacrosse coach at Washington College. He's the former athletic director at Washington College. He's a lacrosse guy. He is now the interim president at the college. I know the other day, Ricky Soul came to the game. Ricky was an incredible midfielder for Washington College who played with Coach Nostrand. But then Ricky went on to an incredible coaching career that culminated in his time at the Naval Academy as the head coach. I got down to the Sportsplex probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before game time today, Matt, and Coach Nostrand was over in the corner on his phone. And he came over to me after he got off the phone call, and he was like, yeah, man, that was one of my college teammates. And, I won't share the story that the teammate is going through, but the teammate's actually going to come and speak to the team. Nody has re-engaged and re-energized this Washington College lacrosse fan base, alumni base, support base, and I do not blame them for jumping on the bandwagon, man. If I wanted somebody to lead my program, John Nostrand would be right at the top of the list, man. He's a hell of a coach.
Yeah, it's where it all starts. The grassroots, the ground level floor, and to get the community and everybody that's alumni base entrenched and re-energized. It's certainly starting to show here, and they're reaping the rewards. About to move to 5-1 on the season. Only game they lost was one that they certainly could have won against Randolph-Macon. We'll see if they get a win streak going here, trying to make it 3 in a row today. And they have a tough one coming up if they get that one. Certainly it'll be a springboard type of moment for them as they try to take down a top 15 program in the country as we tick under 9 minutes to play. And this one, Berry College, little cross field feed there, and Christian Vault able to haul that one in up middle. They will attack here and getting into Washington College territory on the run with Mikey Statham, who we've called out a few different times. He stays after it. He doesn't let up one inch. Yep. Berry's right after it again here.
He's a good-looking player, and again, I know I've mentioned his name a few times, but Bergie in the goal, that's another really good save for him. And again, like Coach Gilbert's watching. Coach Byers over there, his longtime assistant, volunteer assistant, is watching. These guys are watching what these guys are doing right now. And if I'm on that Viking staff and I see Bergie making some saves like this, I'm really, really happy with that. I'm not happy with the result right now. I'm not happy with the score. But I'm really happy to see my second goalie come in and make some plays like this.
Well, this is they try to get one here on the board with McClendon, who had one earlier. You never know with injuries now in sports, or it could be a lackluster play from a starter where you could get thrust into having to play if you're a normal backup, and now you end up taking off at some point, and the confidence from your coaches helps you get on the field even more as we watch Berry run into a double team. That time you see just the defense bottling up completely, which is – that moment right there, in a lot of ways, JP, ends up typifying the day for Washington College as they've been able to just come up defensively and stone them when they needed to.
Yeah, and that was you just nailed it again, Matt. Another great point you made. I don't know what level these guys are as far as is this their second string, third string, whatever it might be. That doesn't really matter. But the aggressiveness on defense here by these guys from Washington College, it just shows right there. They sent the double team there off the traditional slide package from the crease. They didn't need to go there. There was no need to show support on that, but they went anyway, and they made it very, very difficult for Berry to maintain offensive possession.
Well,
here you see another loose ball.
And that's just that hustle. You see them all going towards it. It's almost doesn't matter what numbers out there, what names. Right. It's a matter of an identity, a way we play, a philosophy that they've got, and certainly that's a testament to certainly Coach Nody as we watch Washington College here with time about to tick under 7 minutes to go, leading at 19-5 in this fourth quarter. That really it's not as urgent to add to the lead here, but you want to continue to stick to the fundamentals and the basics that are taught to you at the youngest of levels. And Berry trying to see if they can come up with a couple of players in this rotation that will help them down the line. As Washington College continues to use some clock up here and eat it up before they attempt any shots. Another good feed to the side here, trying to shake free of Berry with Mitch Batichoing defending. They're trying to curl one through there. There's Berge again stopping, and urging his teammates on to continue to hustle forward.
That's a really good call there by the officiating crew. The Washington College group beat the Berry group to the end line, and the call was officiated correctly. Good job there, guys. And just to piggyback on your point there a little bit, Matt, with it doesn't really matter the number. It's kind of the style of play. And if I'm Coach Nostrand, that last defensive sequence is going to go on the film review for tomorrow.
Sure.
And nice goal there by 18 for Washington College. Good job getting hands free in the middle of the field.
Luca Signorello with the goal for Washington College.
Sorry, I took your roster from you there.
No, you're good.
But
That's why I keep the stat feeds over here to try to find them. It's just not in numerical order, but we were able to quickly find them as you go down the list. And in fact, here's a point to that there, JP. You go down the list, that's your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th leading scorer scoring in the fourth quarter. So you're going deeper into that roster to find guys that can contribute.
And a nice goal there by him and by that young man, and good job to him. But coming back to the point of the film review for both coaches here, talking to Coach Nostrand, he's really high on his assistant coaches. He thinks really highly of Coach Gifford, of Coach Matthews. Sounds like they're both doing a really, really good job for him. And I know for Nody, kind of as a more experienced coach, it's really important for him to have young, eager assistant coaches. But he's able to delegate quite a bit and allow them to coach offense and coach defense and maybe allow him to kind of handle some of the bigger picture things. But if I'm that defensive coach in tomorrow's film review for the Shoremen, I really am going to highlight the aggressive play that they make. I'm going to really highlight, that here we are, late fourth quarter, big gap on the scoreboard, and my young/backup defenders are doing such a good job creating havoc for the Berry College Vikings.
And you mentioned assistant Grant Matthews. He was hired in the fall of 2025 after completing his college lacrosse career at Washington College. Was a team captain his final season, led them in assists for 2 consecutive years. So he was known for his unselfishness, his leadership, his vision. And we'll tell you more about Coach Nody in the background for these guys. The Washington College Shoremen on top of the Berry Vikings, 20-5 with 5:28 to go. We'll take another timeout here. You're watching Division III men's lacrosse action from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, brought to you by Cashbox Coaching on Cova Sports TV. Now this from Freddy's and CHKD. Back in just a moment.
Life moves fast, but when that Freddy's hits, you can't help but slow down. Freddy's, this is the good stuff.
With 4 Hampton Roads area locations, Freddy's is just a short trip away.
Apologies to our friends at CHKD. We're about to resume play. I wanted to squeeze them in, but I'll shout them out. You can always find out more on chkd.org, the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, where it's about health, healing, hope for all children. And you heard about Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers. It makes me hungry alongside J.P. Stewart. I am Matthew Hatfield. I'll tell you what, they'll be eating good. Washington College on top of Berry today, 20-5 in this matchup. JP, we mentioned Coach Nody, Coach John Nostrand over there at Washington College. It's all in the family for him. He and his wife Gina have 3 children who have played Division I lacrosse. Their oldest daughter, Olivia, at High Point from 2015 to 2018, all Big South Conference defender. Their son John, midfielder at Penn State for 3 years, 2018 to 2021. He was an all Big Ten academic performer. And their youngest daughter, Marcella, a defender at VCU from 2019 to 2022. So they don't get away from lacrosse in that family, do they?
No, and Nody grew up in Syracuse. I'm not sure. I don't know his wife. I'm not sure exactly where she's from, but he grew up in a lacrosse household and, went on to play at Washington College like we've talked about and, was just an unbelievable high school lacrosse coach at the Haverford School in Philly for years and years and years before Washington College was able to lure him back to Chestertown. But such a cool thing as a dad to have your sons and daughters go on to play the game that you coach and love and all those things. And another great goal for Washington College.
Another goal for Washington College as that one is going to be put up on the board here for them, as that is going to be from, guess who? Let's shout it out. We'll tell you right now. Goal for Keen McGrath for Washington College. 4:26 to go. Keen McGrath, a freshman from Virginia Beach's Catholic High School. How about that? The local product getting on the board before this one gets put to bed.
And that is a very, very, very cool moment for that young man, being from Virginia Beach and, for one, being able to take his playing career up to Washington College, but then to be able to score a goal in his hometown. That is really, really cool.
you know he's got some family watching, either here in person or on a Cova Sports TV, rooting him on, and one of 2 Virginia Beach competitors. But it's not many athletes go to college get that opportunity to come back home in whatever sport and do that.
That is really cool. I am really excited for that young man and for his family, and for the Shoremen to have him up there, and Tommy Lewis, his old coach at Catholic High School, and that's just some really cool stuff.
So right now, Barry trailing 21-5. Did not take long for Washington College to get ignited in this one as they led 7-0 before we even hit the 4-minute mark. Goals from Tuck Levanis, Carson Crawford. Of course, a couple of goals from Nate Winters, who had the game's first. Talon Beller with a couple of assists. Aiden Ventura, Paxton Warnock able to score and get an assist. And Connor Updegraff with multiple assists in the early going. Barry College trying to keep Washington from getting another one before this one comes to a close. We see McGrath has been able to get in on the scoring act for Washington College. In fact, it goes back over to Cole Dettinger. And that one going past the net with just over 3 minutes left in regulation play. And of course, Coach Gilbert, who's coached 64 all SAA selections I see on his bio. He arrived from New England College in Henniker, New Hampshire, led the Pilgrims to a 10-7 record. He's got a pretty accomplished background as well, and we mentioned seeing him play his old school 98 title team. I'm sure there's always some mixed emotions when you do something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a really, I fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure which, had 22 years of being able to coach against my alma mater on a yearly basis. And it's always a special day, regardless of whether you win, lose, or in between.
So let me ask you this. You 22 years against your alma mater. Do you know off the top of your brain, because I'm sure so many coaches and athletes know it, your record against your old school? Because some will say, oh, I can recite this or whatever from that, or do you not?
It wasn't pretty, Matt.
Okay.
No, it wasn't pretty.
Okay.
We came out on the right side of it a couple times,
Okay.
but those boys up in Farmville got the better of me way more than I did of them. Let's leave it at that.
Gotcha.
Is that okay?
It's fair. That's fine.
But either way, such a great experience, and I know Curtis is going to be really frustrated.
Sure.
I know he had high hopes for today, and I think that's a part of who he is. He's a competitor, like I mentioned earlier, and to have high hopes going into a game like this, you wouldn't be a competitor if you didn't, right? And so Curtis will get better from this. His guys are going to get better from this. You know, like I said, they've got another one in 2 days. You know, I think they'll wash it quickly, and they'll get back to work in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like. And I'm sure they'll go give Coach Reynolds and the Marymount Saints everything that they can handle, at least from an effort perspective, on Thursday over at Norfolk Christian.
And the biggest thing is to refresh in your guys' minds, right? Hey, we had a winning record coming into today. We're not a bad team or program. We have a winning record coming in, beating Methodist, beating Huntington College, beating Piedmont, lost to Hampton City and Bridgewater, and this team today, but quality program. So you always, when it's almost the opposite approach is going to be true, I think, for Coach Nody in Washington. Things are never as high or as good as they seem or as bad as they seem. Somewhere in between, reality falls. I use that phrase that one of the football coaches around here likes to say, who won a state championship, Hank Sawyer at Lake Taylor. But it's so true. Yeah. Things are never as great as they seem or as bad. There's always a little bit of middle. You keep your guys, keep them humbled, and also keep them hungry.
Absolutely. And Coach Sawyer, a great football coach. That's a great way to put it. And I know when I coached, I used to always say we had a 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if we had won or lost, if we played well or we played poorly. You had 24 hours to celebrate it, or you had 24 hours to sulk about it, and then you washed it and you moved on to what's next. And that's what both these teams will do. They're both semi-professional type organizations. They'll, Curtis will have his guys ready to play Thursday. Nody's going to have his guys ready to play Saturday. You know, that's just the way it is.
We watched the last seconds tick down in this one. Washington College with a bunch of subs out there, and of course one of them, Gabe Della Penna, who had a couple of goals, the sophomore from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, last 15 ticks.
And they'll just run it out here. They've handled the end of this game in a pretty classy manner, in my opinion. You know, Washington College could have continued to go to the goal. They chose not to. They've just kind of dumped the ball in the corner at the shot clock violations, and there's no need to rub it into a former Shoreman here.
Final score: Washington College victorious over Barry in our men's Division III lacrosse matchup from Virginia Beach Sportsplex. They moved to 4-0 all-time against Barry, prevailing in this one with the season-high goals. count of 21. They surrender 5, which also matches the fewest that they have given up in a contest this season from their opener against Elizabethtown. They moved to 5-1 on the season as Coach John Nostrantz Shorman, while Berry College's Vikings dropped to 3-3 on the season. Next 2 games for these teams, as we mentioned, Marymount University coming up on Thursday here in the 7-5-7 for the Vikings, while for Washington College, their next one will be a pretty tough challenge for them coming up on Saturday, but it's back at home in Chestertown, Maryland against number 11 ranked St. John Fisher. So your final thoughts, JP? This was a lot of fun doing this with you here. It's been a beautiful day. We kept the rain. Mother Nature was very cooperative for us today, and we got to see a couple of teams that certainly are building for the future and look to get better from this matchup they had.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm super impressed by Washington College in particular. I like the way they play. I like the way they get out. I like the way they run, and I like the pressure they exert on defense. I think those are great lessons that the Vikings can take from this, how to handle a little bit of pressure from maybe a step up in competition. Let's grow from it. Let's learn from it. And for both groups, March 21 is the date to circle. Southern Athletic Association play for the Vikings and Centennial Conference play for the Shoremen.
We want to thank our entire Cova Sports TV team, from the likes of Rachel Faison on camera and graphics, along with Garrett Jackson, Colton Fitch, Nick Senti, Chuck Thornton, and the entire Cova Sports TV gang. From a partner, JP Stewart, I'm Matthew Hatfield, signing off from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Once again, our final score, Washington College, the Shoremen, victorious over Berry College's Vikings, 21-5. We say good afternoon from the Sportsplex in Virginia Beach.